F-150 with Pro Power on board. A class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Dance Kid Dance Tour. Dance Kid Dance. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Going through the draft process the first time, they give you the answers to the test. Like, this is what you need to work on. This is what you do well.
They told you.
Yeah, like they tell you.
Here's what, if you want to get drafted, here's what needs to happen.
Yeah, they tell you. So it's like, if you're not listening, it'll go right over your head. But for me, I made sure to soak up all information and everything possible so I can give myself the best shot.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Did you know the Grizzlies were going to try to get up and get you?
No, I have no clue. I thought the Grizzlies loved me when I worked out because it was like super fun and everything was, just natural. We were just having a conversation. It wasn't like said, what's your favorite color and, like all that stuff.
What's your favorite color?
It wasn't interview.
First date type vibe.
Yeah, it wasn't interview questions. It was just like, hey man, how you doing? Like, and it was just real easy to talk to him. It was real easy to talk to Coach Thomas.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Look at Mississippi State's schedule. They are not going to be favored in a single SEC game. They are only going to be favored. Their over-under win total is 3.5. They are only going to be favored in 3 games this year. That'll probably be Southern Miss, Alcorn State, and Northern Illinois.
It's at Southern Miss, man. I don't know.
And it's at Southern Miss.
They might not be favored in that.
Right.
One.
You don't know what Brett Favre's done to the athletic department.
They have an awesome arena now.
Right.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What is the biggest Summer League accomplishment so far for this Grizzlies team?
Tuomas Isolo filling out his coaching staff. The Ryan Saunders hiring was essential. It was big time. You have a veteran NBA voice there.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You get to the main event, and you hear the crowd. There's some rumblings in the crowd.
Here we go.
They say, "We want truth."
I love how John Cena said when they were chanting, "We want truth." You can't handle the truth.
There you go.
I loved it.
He takes me off, boom. Takes the mask off, boom. And it's our freaking truth. God, man, he cost John Cena the match.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish, speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio. We're in FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you didn't hold out hope that the world's greatest golfer, Scottie Scheffler, would hold the trophy at the FedEx St. Jude Championship, because though he came up close, he came up short. He did not win this thing. Tommy Fleetwood, your third-round leader, the favorite of the betting markets. When we woke up on Sunday morning, somebody who was trying to get that, as they say, monkey off his back, he didn't win it either. He coughed it up down the stretch. Justin Rose, the 45-year-old, is your reigning now FESJC champion. He won it in a 3-hole playoff against JJ Spawn out at TPC Southwind. Fun Sunday at golf. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. When we finish this open, Michael Eaves going to join us on the other side. I'll talk all things FESJC with him. Also get his thoughts on Shedeur Sanders' debut with the Cleveland Browns on Friday night. Impressive stuff from Coach Prime's son in his first preseason start in the NFL. Michael Eaves going to join me. I'll talk to him in about 20 minutes. Finish talking to Mike. We're going to take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, UFC is coming to Paramount Plus. And the best part, how about that? Here's the best part. Let me tell you the best part. Pay-per-views are dead.
Love it.
Love it. If you subscribe to Paramount Plus, you will now get all things UFC starting in 2026. That's awesome. Tell you more about it. We'll do it in 40 minutes. Former NFL coach John Gruden said this weekend that he'd, quote, die to coach in the SEC. Weird way to put it, because if you died, you'd no longer be able to coach in the SEC. I don't think they let dead people coach in the SEC.
No, they do not.
I don't think they allow that. Would an SEC school hire him? That's the question. We'll discuss it in just a bit. Former Brave star David Justice went on a podcast and discussed his marriage with Halle Berry. The internet is dragging him right now. I'll read you the controversial quote. We'll do that in just a bit. A young man named Connor Zilic, he leads the NASCAR Infinity Series in points. He won again this weekend. Congrats to him. And then he immediately broke his collarbone while celebrating.
Oh.
Wild situation. We'll show it to you in the third segment. And Big Bet Bennett is back after a trip to Colorado. You went to Colorado?
I did, yeah, man. Had a great weekend in the mountains. Yes,
Big
sir.
Bet Bennett was in the mountains this weekend. We'll see how that went during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carry-out and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with the FedEx St. Jude Championship, because the 2025 FedEx St. Jude Championship, it concluded this weekend with a 2-man playoff out at TPC Southwind. It took 3 extra holes for Justin Rose and JJ Spawn to settle things. But in the end, it was Rose who won with a birdie on the 3rd playoff hole after Spawn missed a 7-footer that would have forced a 4th playoff hole. So Justin Rose got the trophy and a check worth $3.6 million. JJ Spawn finished 2nd. Scotty Scheffler and Tommy Fleetwood finished tied for 3rd. And really, those 2 men, the 2 men who finished 15 under and tied for 3rd, to me, they were the most compelling stories. Scotty, because he's the best golfer in the world and on one of the greatest runs any golfer has ever been on in the history of the sport. And Tommy, because he is, I think people know this now if they didn't even know this before the weekend, he's widely regarded as the best player on the PGA Tour who has never actually won a PGA Tour event. Either winning, Scotty or Tommy, would have probably been more notable than 45-year-old Justin Rose winning, but neither could get it done down the stretch, and perhaps for totally different reasons. We'll talk about both in just a minute, but first things first, Big Bet Bennett, it's nice to have you back.
It's good to be back.
It's just nice to see you. Yep. I know you watched the final round of the FedEx St. Jude Championship on television in Colorado. We didn't get Scotty Scheffler winning or Tommy Fleetwood winning, but we did get a playoff, 3 holes of playoff golf between 2 former U.S. Open winners. That was compelling television, wasn't it?
It was. Isn't it 2 of the last 3 years we've had playoff holes in the FedEx St. Jude Championship? Yeah.
We can't settle this in regulation. We can't settle it in regulation. Not out at Southwind.
I like that our tournament is it gets close. I like that.
We can't settle it in regulation. Not out there at Southwind.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
So we got the playoff holes, and it was good stuff. They were making big putts and making big putts, and both of them were coming up clutch up until Spawn finally missed a putt.
I was sick for him in that moment.
Yeah,
because he had just been awesome,
right?
You know, and for that to happen, it's. I mean, he makes that 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, I don't know what the number is exactly, but he should make that putt.
Yeah,
particularly given the way he was putting. And it also just sort of rips a little bit of the moment away. There's something with the way a game, any sporting event ends. I remember talking about this national championship game, college basketball this year. I don't know if you remember, but it ended with Houston not being able to get a shot off. It's like Houston and Houston's down and they need a bucket. And Emmanuel Sharp, I think, couldn't get a shot off. And it just ended with the ball bouncing around. It was like, and then buzzer sounds, game over, there's your national champion.
Right.
The moment is so different if somebody hits a shot to win something.
True. Yep.
And I felt that a little bit yesterday. Like the moment Justin Rose, because Rose putted first and made his putt, Spawn was closer. So the moment Justin Rose wins the tournament, it's not because he made a putt. I mean, technically it is, but that's not the last thing we see before he celebrates and holds the trophy. The last thing we see is J.J. Spawn missing a little 7-footer, and it just sort of rips the moment away. But either way, congrats to Justin Rose. He shoots into the top 4 of the FedEx playoff standings, and we'll move on now to the BMW Championship with an opportunity to finish in the top 30, which would allow him to advance to the following week, which, of course, would be the Tour Championship. If you're curious about Roy McIlroy, the only player who skipped the FedEx St. Jude Championship who was eligible to compete in it, he started the week number 2 in points. And you know where he is right now? Without playing a hole at Southwind, he is still sitting at number 2 behind Scotty Scheffler.
Got to change these rules, buddy.
I think that's coming.
Yeah,
I think that's coming before we do it
sure.
next year. Let's talk about the 2 men who tied for 3rd.
Okay,
Scotty Scheffler and Tommy Fleetwood. And let's start with Scotty. He's the top-rated golfer in the world, the biggest star in the sport, 4-time major winner, reigning Open winner, reigning PGA Championship winner. He started the day yesterday 2 shots back of the 3rd-round leader, Tommy Fleetwood. Fired a final round 67 to tie Fleetwood, but that did keep him out of the playoff by a stroke. 1 stroke. In a related note, he just missed putt after putt after putt all day. Ended up losing 1.3 strokes to the field just in putting in the final round. Like, this is not an oversimplification. If he just putts the way he normally putts, he probably wins the tournament. He just kept missing putt after putt after putt. And in a related note, he didn't have his normal caddy, Ted Scott, who had to leave Memphis on Saturday after the 3rd round because of a, quote, family emergency. That ended up forcing Scotty Scheffler to call in a backup caddy. And the guy's name is Brad Payne. He's the PGA Tour chaplain.
Okay.
And a close friend of Scheffler's. But he was in Dallas, presumably, because that's where he lives. He wasn't here. And Scotty's like, Ted's gone. I need a caddy. I'm putting you on a plane. Fly to Memphis. He got here at like 2 a.m. on Sunday. And he's on the bag for Scotty Scheffler for the final round.
We ain't got any good local caddies here. Are we not good at caddies here?
I don't know exactly how that works, but I imagine Scotty just wanted somebody he's familiar with. And for what it's worth, Brad Payne had been on his bag once before when I think Ted had to attend his maybe daughter's high school graduation and was going to miss a round for that.
Okay.
And Brad Payne was, so it's a friend, it's somebody who's done it before. But I do think it, like, you lose something not having your normal guy there. Because if you're Brad Payne, and I don't know Brad Payne, but if you're Brad Payne, like, a caddy's job is, there's a lot that goes into that. But part of it is just like knowing who you're working with, how to talk to them, when to push them a different direction, when to let them go in the direction they're comfortable with. There's a real delicate, you've got to understand how to back off, push, advise, correct, when to do it, when not to do it. And I just don't think it's possible to have that kind of relationship when you've been on the bag with a guy twice. Like, even when there was another professional golfer recently fired his caddy, got a new caddy, and they went and worked together before a tournament, like just playing random rounds on whatever courses without the cameras on, just to get used to each other, just to understand who's comfortable with what and when to push, when to pull, all that stuff. And I just don't think you can have that with somebody who's not your normal guy.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't help, while I'm watching Scotty Scheffler miss putts yesterday that he normally wouldn't miss, just wonder, like, if Ted Scott's there, do these things go differently? Because Scotty might read something a certain way, And because he and Ted have such a strong relationship, Ted could say, Scotty, I don't see that. Or like, you had this putt 2 years ago. No, you need to play it further out here. Or like whatever it is a caddy would say to a golfer in these moments. How do you say that if you're Brad Payne? If you're Ted Scott, it's like, well, we have an incredible working relationship. We've accomplished incredible things. He values my opinion. That's why I'm here. I will offer it. And I will tell him when he's wrong, when he's seeing something that's not there or thinking of something he shouldn't be thinking of. I can step in. But if you're Brad Payne, how do you step in and argue with the best golfer in the world? Like if Scotty's like, Brad, what do you see here? And he's like, well, I think it's left to right and just going to die at the end. And Scotty's like, I don't see that at all. I think it's going to go, right, whatever. Yeah. Well, how do you then step in and argue with the best golfer in the world? If you're Ted Scott, you're probably a little more comfortable doing that.
Yes.
Because you work with each other every day for years, and you've accomplished incredible things. But if you're Brad Payne and you see something, and Scotty Scheffler says, I see something else, how do you step in and say, Scotty, you don't know what you're looking at? It's just a weird dynamic. And so he ends up missing the playoff. He was in contention and at one point tied for the lead in the final round, but he ends up missing the playoff and having to settle for tied for third. Again, he'll move on to the next round of the playoff with more points than anybody else. But if he was trying to add another victory to the Wikipedia page, fell just short of that. And then there's Tommy Fleetwood, who, my God, just coughed it up again.
Yeah, I was sad for him and me, honestly. I was rolling with him.
I was genuinely sad for the guy.
Yeah.
Because he seems like a pleasant lad, as they might say.
I enjoy listening to him talk.
People seem to like him. He doesn't run from this thing that is so clearly connected to him. It's something that golf fans know that maybe people who don't follow golf, maybe you wouldn't know. But either way, I think it hit you in the head over the past couple of days if you were watching the golf tournament at all, because it became the main storyline. Will Tommy Fleetwood finally win on the PGA Tour? This is his legacy right now.
I can't believe he's never won. I mean, he's a guy that as
he's
a casual golf fan, I know him. Yeah.
You know him. Because he's very good. He's got the hair.
Yeah.
But mostly he's very good. And maybe he's very good with the hair, and so that's the combination that makes you know him. But broadly speaking, like, I don't think you have to watch golf on CBS every Saturday and Sunday to know that Tommy Fleetwood exists.
Right.
But he has never won on the PGA Tour. He has started 162 times on the PGA Tour, and he's never won. He has won 10 times as a professional, but never on the actual PGA Tour. He's finished top 5 in all 4 of the majors and done that in the past 7 years. He finished second at the U.S. Open in 2018, second at the Open Championship in 2019, fifth at the PGA Championship in 2022, third at the Masters in 2024. Top 5 finishes at all 4 majors. Has never won on the PGA Tour. He now has 29 top 5 finishes on the PGA Tour, 0 victories. And that is 11 more than any other player without a win on the PGA Tour in the past 40 years. So he doesn't just lead the category of who has the most top, because this is the best. There are some people, most people, in fact, who will never win on the PGA Tour. Most people who play on the PGA Tour will never win on the PGA Tour. So that's not a good gauge. Who has played as many tournaments as anybody else and never won? Well, probably the guy who's just good enough to be on tour, but not good enough to win on tour. This guy's good enough to win on tour. He's won other places, and he's been in the top 5 29 times, but never won. And so when you look at that category, who has the most top 5 finishes? So they're really good. They're often in contention, but never can close it out for whatever reason. Who's that guy? It's Tommy Fleetwood, and it's by a wide margin. He's done it 11 more times than anybody else in the top 40 in the past 40 years. So this is like, think of it as somebody is leading Major League Baseball in home runs by 11. All right? Like that, he's just running away with this. And it's not the type of thing you want to run away with. And then there he is yesterday. He's in contention. He's got the lead. He's the betting favorite coming into the 4th round, even though Scotty's sitting right there, which was a little surprising, but whatever. It's true. He was the betting favorite heading into the 4th round. He finishes 15 under for the tournament. So with 3 holes left to play, he's at 16 under. And then he plays the last 3 holes at 1 over par. 16 just chips one through the green. 17 misses a little putt he would normally make. Misses the playoff. I mean, if me and Vernon were out there on 16 and either one of us chipped the ball through the green the way he did, we would both be mad at ourselves. This is Tommy Fleetwood. You're never supposed to do that. Just, it's something right here.
Man.
And that's a hard thing to come to grips with, I imagine, because you have to admit to yourself, you are talented enough to do this, physically capable of doing this, but when the lights get real, real bright, you shut down. Like, there's no other explanation for it. There's just not. You watch a guy perform that way on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and much of Sunday, and then it's like, all right, now it's time. You got to close it out. And he just melts.
Yeah, how many top 5s was it?
29.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
29
that
top
kind of
5s
speaks for itself.
with 0 victories. You're in contention to do this over and over again, and you could never get it done. And his answers, like, he's just a sweetheart of a guy.
He does seem like a great dude.
He's just I'm going to keep, you got to keep going. You got to keep, I'd rather be in this position and fail than not be in this position at all. But at some point, that becomes really heavy to carry around with you. When the whole world is like, even if he's in contention, I don't think he'll win it. Even if he's up with 3 holes to play, I don't think he'll close it out. Like, the whole world thinks that about you. They were thinking about you even before yesterday. But after yesterday, like, that's the biggest one. That's the most recent one and the biggest one. And come on, man.
Well, I was wondering why the odds were so good this weekend. Like, I jumped all over it when he had the lead after it was like the first or second day. I was like, okay, let's roll.
People,
I know Tommy. Like, let's do this.
Because people just don't think it'll hold up.
Yeah.
And then when it doesn't, it like reinforces every narrative connected to you. It just stinks, man. For the tournament, I thought it'd be cool for the best golfer in the world to win it, Scottie Scheffler. Like, we never got Tiger winning our tournament. He never played here.
Right.
Having Scottie Scheffler win it, I thought that'd be a cool thing.
Yes.
The second coolest thing would have been Fleetwood getting his first PGA Tour win here. Justin Rose, congrats. Awesome performance, but we missed out on what the best stories could have been. And then for Tommy Fleetwood, I just, sick for him. Because, I know he made a lot of money. I know he was sadder than you last night. Sadder than me last night. He went to bed in a bigger house with a bigger bank account and made more money this weekend than most people make in their whole lives. I bet he was devastated last night, sitting in that big house with his tied for 3rd place finish. I'll talk to Michael Eaves about it next.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Coach Thorpe, to his credit, also taught me, like, just simplify your game. Like, it doesn't have to be difficult. You don't have to do all the up and under stuff. Like, he always talks about getting to the second box. My biggest thing is just do what I can to make the right play. It doesn't, if it ends up in a shot, it does. If it ends up in a pass to an assist, it does. Shooting 72% is credit to, I guess the work I put in and my coach is helping me.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. The NBA announced their Dunk of the Year yesterday. It was voted on by the fans, and it went to Ja Morant for his double clutch through Porzingis and Derek White. The call of it was excellent. That game we hung on to for a long time last season, but it was a spectacular dunk.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What is the biggest Summer League accomplishment so far for this Grizzlies team?
Tuomas Isalo filling out his coaching staff. The Ryan Saunders hiring was essential. It was big time. You have a veteran NBA voice there.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Preseason Box to Row Coaches Poll has come out. Jackson State sits there at number 1. This is the third time in the poll's history that Jackson State has been the preseason number 1 team in the nation. And then Tennessee State being at 5, that really surprised me.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Parrish Show presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built Ford Tough studio and on Mondays in the second segment. I'm joined by ESPN's Michael Eaves. You see him hosting Sports Center. He's here right now. Michael Eaves, it's GP. How are you on this Monday?
Not too bad, man. Feeling pretty good. One more week past this double knee replacement surgery. I'm getting a little, I'm getting some cabin fever, that's for sure. But one day at a time, brother, one day at a time.
Have you already, and I'm certain you have, already asked the doctor the important question, like, when's the next time I can swing a golf club, get out on a course? What's the date looking like for you?
He gave me the optimistic timeline. Actually, I just met with him Friday. He gave me the optimistic timeline, which would have been 3 months post-surgery.
Okay.
Okay. So we're talking late October, 1st of November. That is the optimistic window. And that, for me, is my motivation.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you give me like that little apple in front of the cart, and I was like, all right, I have something to chase. If I do all the things necessary, I can do something I love that soon. So that's my primary motivation, to be able to get back to doing that kind of stuff.
Wow. Like, while acknowledging up front, I know nothing about knee replacement surgeries. That seems shorter than I would have anticipated. Like, that's pleasant news.
It is, because I was thinking more like 5 to 6.
Yeah.
But he says if all things go well, he conceivably gave me that as something that could happen. But it's a chore, man. And here's the thing: if it had only been one leg, 3 months would have been easier. But doing both knees at the same time, it's a big deal. And the deeper I get into this, the more I realize how big of a deal it is. Even though I knew it was going to be an ordeal, and I had someone who'd done it before, and he had given me all his advice on it. But it's a major procedure that I underwent. So I'm trying to temper my own expectations, you know what I mean, for what I want to do versus like what your body's actually going through right now.
No, because trying to do it the way you're doing it, like, obviously it speeds up everything, but it really shuts you down in a pretty dramatic way. I remember, and this is a little bit apples to oranges, but Jonas Cespedes, who of course played for the Mets at the end of his career, helped him get to a World Series. He reached a point where he had to have surgery on both feet. And they I remember thinking as a fan, like, why are they doing it this way? But they like did the right foot and then let him rehab that and then did the left foot. And I was like, just do both feet at the same time, because I know nothing about this stuff. But they were like, they don't want him immobilized for that long with both feet down. So fix one, then fix the other. And so you've just decided to knock them both out. You'll be glad you did, but I know this part's hard.
It is hard. It is hard. It's physically challenging, which I fully expected. That part I was ready for. It's the mental frustration you have to go through of not being able to do things on your timetable.
Right.
And that's my biggest challenge right now. Like, I want to dive really hard at my PT, but I've got this one little pain situation going on that I can't. And that's frustrating me because, it's almost like, you get in the car and the GPS gives you an estimated time to arrive, but you want to beat it every time.
Yes.
Like, I'm ahead of my GPS time and I want to stay there. Right. And so that's like been a bit of a challenge for me. And plus, I wanted to go back to work earlier. Like, I was hoping to be back to work as early as maybe this week, but the doctor's like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen either. So I'm going to have to wait a few more weeks. But I will be back before the start of football season. So that was my major concern.
Well, that's good news. Happy that you're on your way back to getting healthy, and it'll be here before you know it. Let's talk FedEx St. Jude Championship. It wrapped up yesterday here in Memphis. TPC South win. Justin Rose is the winner. We'll talk about him in a second. Let's focus on Tommy Fleetwood. I just felt sick for the guy because I don't know him. You're around these guys, so you have a better grasp for it. But from a distance, he seems like a pleasant fella, and he's obviously one of the most talented and best golfers in the world and has been that way for a while. 29 top 5 finishes, top 5 in all 4 majors, cannot get it done. And whether it was running it through the green on 16 or missing that little putt on 17, at some point, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but at some point, the explanation for why does he never get it done, it is something right here, isn't it?
100%. All right. So first and foremost, winning is hard. Yeah. It is really hard. And we have so many guys through all different sports, but especially in golf as of late with Scottie Scheffler in particular, who at times make it look very easy. We've had other players that have won multiple times this year on the PGA Tour. So we get this idea that once you're up there and you have a lead, you should bring it home. Yeah. It's still hard. But as my dad used to say, sometimes you can't win for losing. And that's what Tommy Fleetwood is going through right now. Yeah. He had a 2-shot lead with 3 holes to play, including one that was a par 5 that just about everybody birdies at that golf course. Right. And he couldn't bring that home. So as much as Justin Rose and J.J. Spaun played great down the stretch, I mean, Justin Rose played really great to even give himself a position to be in the playoff. Tommy Fleetwood lost that golf tournament more than Justin Rose won it. That's just the fact because of the position he had with those 3 holes left to play. But he still has the best attitude that you can possibly have going through it. I mean, if you saw the interview he did with Damon Hack afterwards, he gave it the proper context. He said, I'd much rather be here as many times as possible and not get it done than to never be in the situation, because that logic is correct. You can't win if you're not there. Right. Like Tiger used to say it all the time. I just want to put myself in position to win and then see what happens. He keeps putting himself in position, but he just can't bring it in. And to your point, at some point, it is absolutely mental. There's no way human being he was not thinking about finally getting that win when he had that 2-shot lead with 3 holes to play. Because that putt at 17, you're right, that's not a putt he would miss under any other circumstances.
And it becomes impossible for him not to think about it because it is the only thing people want to talk to him about. Like he gets off the course on Saturday and it's part of the questions. He's, out there on Sunday. And to the extent that people are rooting for him, that's why. It's not because he's got cool hair or great teeth. It's because they want to see him finally break through because we do root for people like that. Like, I thought for the tournament it'd be cool if the best golfer in the world won it. Scottie Scheffler hold the trophy. That'd be cool. But short of that, give me Fleetwood just for the story of this guy finally getting over that hump. And I'm sitting there yesterday and I'm like, he wouldn't do this yesterday. He wouldn't miss this putt yesterday. And it just unravels in real time. And I give him a lot of credit because he stays composed and he answers the questions and he's not really short in the way that even J.J. Spaun was short in his post-round interview yesterday. But, man, that must be a hard thing to deal with. And I wonder if you've ever talked to athletes about that. When there's no other excuse other than something up here, the moment gets to me in a way that it doesn't get to other guys. Because I think that's probably harder to get over than I'm just maybe not good enough to do this the way I want to.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right with that last point. If you are there and you know how good you are and you can't bring it home, it hurts more than to say the other guy is just that much better than me. No one played better golf up through the first 69 holes than Tommy Fleetwood did. Nobody. And all he had to do was finish those last 3 holes and he wins the golf tournament. And because he was in that position, he knows he's good enough to do it. And continually getting to the point or being close and not following through, it has to hurt. There's no question about it. But the thing about Tommy, it seems, though, from what we've seen, Gary, as I said, he still has the right attitude about continuing to do it, because a couple of weeks ago he should have won and he didn't get it done. Here it was again. So maybe next week he does win, right? And then all of a sudden that will be the breakthrough. And I think oftentimes athletes think about that themselves. If I could just get that one win, then it becomes a snowball effect. Matter of fact, that was the case for Scottie Scheffler, quite honestly. But when Scottie first came on the tour, he wasn't the guy that just all of a sudden just took off winning. I mean, there were guys that came out before him or around the same time as him that won, early. Colin Morikawa won early. Victor Hovland won early. Those guys where Scottie didn't. But once he got to that point, all of a sudden, boom, it took off. And maybe for Tommy Fleetwood, he just needs that one to get over the hump.
Let's focus on Scottie Scheffler. He played the final round without his caddy, Ted Scott, who had to leave Memphis because of a family emergency. How much does that matter, not having your caddy that's with you every day?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's nothing, but I don't think it's major. Not for a player of Scottie's stature and ability. If you go back to the PGA Championship in Valhalla, he also didn't have Ted Scott one day because Ted was going to be gone for his daughter's graduation. Right. So he's been in that situation before. And I'll say this, Ted is a tremendous caddy. Obviously, he's won multiple majors with multiple players, with Scottie, and also 2 Masters with Bubba Watson. And he's also a very accomplished player himself, right? So the things that he would be saying to Scottie in that situation obviously be different than what Brad Payne was saying to him in a similar situation. Or Brad probably wasn't giving Scottie as much input as Ted may have felt more free to do. But ultimately, still the golfer's decision on whatever is going to happen. The club that's going to be pulled, the shot shape, the target, all that stuff comes down to the golfer. And even if you take the input from someone else, it's still your decision because you have to be the one to execute it. I don't think necessarily that Ted not being there is the reason Scottie did not win. But at the same time, it could have made a difference. Right. Scottie won't blame that at all.
Right.
He won't at all. And I hope Ted doesn't feel bad that if he thought he was there, then Scottie would have won. But it's not zero, right? But it's not substantial.
You touched on somebody else who works in that industry. It sort of highlighted for me, and they said where it matters, to the extent that it matters at all, Ted would feel comfortable correcting Scottie if he felt like he needed to. Like if Scottie wanted a 9-iron and Ted thought it was an 8, he could push harder than Brad maybe could. If Scottie's seeing a putt and Ted's seeing a different way, Ted can say, Scottie, I'm not seeing that, or you had this 2 years ago, or I remember this from yesterday. Whereas if you're just the fill-in caddy, you might not be comfortable talking or correcting, rather, the best golfer on the planet. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, but again, to me, it's still not correcting.
Okay.
It's providing stronger feedback.
There you go.
Right? But again, Scottie still has to see, if Scottie sees it one way, and let's say you and I are playing. I see this putt going one way. You're my caddy. You're like, I don't know, Eaves, I think it goes this way.
Right.
Even if you say it, and then if I can't see it, then I can't commit to it.
Right.
Right? Now, Ted could have, all these years of knowledge. He's like, the last time we were here, that pin was up, 8 paces off the front. We went the flight at 8. I think now you probably need really a full 7 based on the wind, Then that could just change the thinking. But if Scottie feels like, I don't know, I think I still need to flight it down right now. So let me take this club and shut the face. He still has to make that decision because he has to execute it. Right. So I wouldn't use the word correct, but I think Ted would obviously feel more confident suggesting something to Scottie than anybody else would who be a substitute caddy in that situation.
That's right. That's the way to put it. I'm wrapping up here with Michael Eaves from ESPN. Last thing before I let you go, I don't pay attention to NFL preseason games too much, but I did turn on the NFL Network Friday night, 6 o'clock Central for Shedeur Sanders getting the start with the Cleveland Browns. And, he looked competent. He did what he was supposed to do. 14 of 23, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns. What did you make of Shedeur Sanders' debut with Cleveland on Friday night?
I'm with you. I don't really pay much attention to preseason because those games don't matter.
All right.
Now, the evaluation of the players by the coaches matter because those decisions will be made in terms of who's going to be the starters, who's going to be in the rotation, who's going to get the playing time, things of that matchup. But the actual outcome of the games and those things, they don't matter because you're not getting a true test of both teams in terms of personnel, right? Having said that, I thought he looked as well as he could look, right? Like he displayed some of the same talent, some of the same poise, composure that we saw when he was in college, whether it was at Jackson State or going on to Colorado. So he looked like the same guy. Now, the thing that's going to be interesting and his narrative going forward is only going to be because of where he was drafted and all the teams that overlooked him, or excuse me, all the over teams who passed on picking him prior to the Browns did in the 5th round, right? So that's where the narrative starts because of where he was chosen. His actual ability confirmed in that game based on what we saw in college. So what the Browns end up doing going forward based on their quarterback room is totally up to them, but we won't know for sure, Gary, until he gets out there with his team's best players facing the opposing team's best players. And that is true for every other rookie quarterback, whether it's Tyler Shuck, Jackson Dart, any of those other guys, Cam Ward, any of those other guys. It's the same. We won't know for sure, but he looked like the dude we saw in college in his first preseason game.
That is Michael Eaves from ESPN. Make sure when he gets back to work, you're watching him on SportsCenter and following him on X at Michael Eaves. That's at Michael Eaves. You're the best, buddy. Keep working hard in that rehab. You'll get better before you know it, and I'll see you real soon.
All right, brother. Be good.
All right. Bye-bye. That's Michael Eaves from ESPN on Twitter, X, at Michael Eaves. That's at Michael Eaves. Bennett, did you get to see any of Shedeur Sanders on Friday night?
I did, yes. I saw a little bit of it. Man, that is such a weird situation now. We've talked about it a lot, but, he's like, if you're Dylan Gabriel, like, how can you play Dylan Gabriel if you're the Browns? I mean, I understand how you drafted him ahead of Shedeur Sanders. I'm just saying the fan base has made up their mind. That's all they needed to see.
He is the thing that gets them fired up.
That's all they needed to see.
Yeah.
Is him to come out and make some big plays. And now it's like, no, we want him. That's our guy.
I did read some analysis of like the Cleveland quarterback room. I just sort of, stumbled into it over the weekend. And there is some thought that, to your point, you know what they'd rather just not have right now? Dylan Gabriel. And not because he's bad. They would prefer not to have both these guys.
Right.
The way that it was presented in this column was that the prevailing thought around the organization, around the franchise, is that they did not plan to draft Shedeur Sanders, which is why they took Dylan Gabriel. But if they would have ever reasonably imagined they were going to end up with Shedeur Sanders, they would not have taken Dylan Gabriel. In other words, they were happy to take Dylan Gabriel where they took him, but at the time didn't think Shedeur Sanders would be available where they ended up taking him.
Yeah.
But he was available, and then they ended up taking him because they felt like, well, at this point, we're not going to pass on this type of talent. We'll just scoop him up and see what we got. But at that point, if they could have undone the Dylan Gabriel pick, they would have liked to have done that. You didn't really want both these guys in your quarterback room, particularly when the more famous one and possibly the better one is the second of the two that was selected in the draft. Because now you do have I don't know that it's a problem, but the Cleveland fans want Shedeur Sanders to be the starting quarterback.
Yes. I mean, dude, if you play Gabriel ahead of him, any interception, anytime you lose a game, everything, they're calling for Shedeur. Like, he's in a bad spot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Here's the way that's going to go down in Cleveland. They'll work out the preseason however they work out the preseason. And then Joe Flacco is going to start week 1.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually he will suck or get hurt or lose a lot. And it could be all three. But, he's not going to be able to avoid all three of those things.
Right.
Like, the only way you keep your starting job if you're 40 years old in the NFL at quarterback is if you win, play well, and stay healthy. Well, does anybody think Joe Flacco is going to win, play well, and stay healthy? First off, he's 40.
Not, yeah.
First off, he's 40. You're susceptible to just things that 25-year-olds aren't susceptible to from a health perspective. You're 40. Most 40-year-olds don't play that position well. Like the number of men who have played that position well in their 40s is like on one hand.
Probably so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So at this age, probably not staying healthy, or at least it's harder than it otherwise would be to stay healthy. At this age, probably not playing well because most people at this age don't. All right. And even if you do play well, you're probably not winning.
Right.
Because your team sucks. So he will start week 1. He won't start week 14 for whatever reason. But it'll be one of those 3, and it might be all 3. Eventually, this thing's going to fall to Shedeur Sanders. There will be a week. I don't think it'll be week 1, but it might be week 4, week 6, week 9. We'll get there.
Yep.
We're going to be here on a Friday, and Jessica's going to be sitting right there, and we're going to say, so, Jess, Shedeur Sanders is scheduled to make his first regular season start in the NFL this weekend. What do you think? That's happening.
Yes.
It just is not going to happen on the timeline that some Browns fans are going to want after what we watched on Friday night. But either way, I think all of it's interesting. Like, I'm just interested in the story. I'm not that interested in the outcome, or at least I'm not emotionally invested in the outcome. But I am interested in the story because this is going to be our next thing that people argue about intensely for hours on end without any resolution. We have these in sports every once in a while. They pop up. They become amazing television topics. They become incredible podcast topics. People argue about them and debate them and come with all these different data points, and nobody changes their mind. We do these all the time. It can be LeBron and Michael. That's a great one. If you notice, I haven't even engaged in that in years. And you want to know why? Here's what I've realized. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're not winning people over no matter what side you pick. Yeah.
You can take the greatest Jordan debater and Nick Wright, who has been making the LeBron arguments for years, put them on a podcast, let them talk for 2 hours. Whoever thinks Nick's right at the beginning is going to think he's right at the end. Whoever thinks the other guy's right at the beginning is going to think he's right at the end. Nobody's mind's changing on this.
Yeah.
So I just find it uninteresting. Colin Kaepernick was one we had. And that was especially interesting because it had sports and politics and all. But like that was one where I just found after a while, nobody was saying anything new. Nobody was saying anything I hadn't heard before. And no more to the point, nobody was changing their mind.
That's right.
Caitlin Clark. How do you think she's treated in the WNBA? One person will say one thing. One person will try to explain how that's not true. They can go at it for hours. Nobody changes their mind, ever. You either think Caitlin Clark is the face of the league and the future of everything, or you think she's been elevated to a place she doesn't belong, and you argue, but nobody changes their mind. And Shedeur Sanders is about to be the next one of these big ones because we're already there.
Yeah.
You have people with very strong opinions about the way his pre-draft process was handled. And you have people with very strong opinions about how the draft went down. And now you will have people with very strong opinions about the Cleveland quarterback room and everything that it entails. And largely, people will not change their mind. There are people who see this guy as the future of a lot of stuff and who's only been held down because people are uncomfortable with, I'll just say it, a young black man being as confident and out front as he is. I heard that all throughout the draft.
Yeah.
All right. And then you got other people who think, yo, this guy ain't nearly as good as he walks around acting like he is. And when you get those two components ready to go, it's just a nonstop argument. And it won't change. He will be a big topic of conversation throughout this preseason.
Yes.
And whenever he becomes the QB1 in Cleveland, because that will happen someday. I don't know how long he'll be that, but he will be that heading into a week for one reason or another. Either because he earned it or because it fell to him or because 3 people got hurt. However it has to happen, That's going to happen. And when that happens, he will be the biggest topic of conversation heading into the NFL weekend. A 5th-round pick. That's where we're at.
I can't lie. I was a little nervous because the Browns played Friday and the Titans played Saturday. And so after seeing Shedeur, I was like, please, Cam, just please come out and look good. And Cam looked pretty good.
Fine, right?
Cam looked pretty good. Yeah, he did look. We're going to be terrible. The Titans are going to be a really bad team this year.
You know what's interesting about this? As I think through this, I'm just telling the truth. I knew Cam Ward played this weekend, and I knew that he was okay. That is basically all I knew. This is where we're at. This is sort of illustrating my point. I know everything that Shedeur Sanders did this weekend. 5th-round pick. I don't think I've seen a Cam Ward highlight. Like, I don't think I saw it with my own eyes.
He had a nice throw to Calvin Ridley. Couple of them, actually.
I'm sure. I just didn't see it. It was impossible to be on social media this weekend and not be aware of Shedeur Sanders and what he did. It was very possible to be on the internet this weekend and not be aware of what the number 1 pick did, because I'm evidence of it. I was on the internet this weekend and was not really aware of Cam Ward. I knew that he was okay. I knew that he played, didn't get hurt, and was okay. But I saw none of it. Those highlights never hit my feed. Shedeur Sanders, I've seen that one throw over here. I've seen it 50 times. I didn't see anything Cam Ward did. That's where we're at. That's the level of celebrity we're dealing with. And that he will be one of the biggest stories in the NFL. As long as you can tell me he'll start at least one game, I will tell you he will be among the NFL headlines, the biggest ones this season.
I agree.
And we're already getting a taste of that. Like on Friday night, people tuned in to NFL Network to watch it.
No question.
And that was because of him. It was not because of anything other than him. He's the reason. And he had the pregame moment where he comes in with the big speaker, and that leads to that starts the debates. Should he be doing this? What does it say about him? Get both sides. Boom, boom, boom. Nobody changes their mind. But we talk about it a lot. Then he had the postgame interaction with the local radio guy.
I saw that video.
I thought that was fine too.
I did too. I actually did.
When I heard, because I told Jess this earlier, I heard Shedeur Sanders had a moment with a local Cleveland reporter and read about it before I saw it, before I saw the video.
Okay.
It was just like Shedeur Sanders approaches Cleveland media member and asks why he never says nice things about him. And I was like, oh, God, why are you doing this? But when I saw the video, it was kind of playful.
Yeah, it wasn't really like that.
It wasn't like that. It was playful. And he was smiling, and I liked... I just pick up on these little things. Maybe they mean nothing to nobody else. I like it when athletes like reference people by their names. Like, hey, media guy. Instead of that, like, hey, Tony. Hey, Tony. Like, I've been listening to you, man. You didn't say anything nice. When are you going to say something nice about me? Maybe I can get something nice on Monday. You know, I had 2 touchdowns. Like, I'm not quoting, should I even say all that, but like, it felt playful.
Oh, I thought it gave him like a more... I thought it added like a human aspect to the whole thing, because I was like, I can't believe he even knows who this guy is.
I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was good too.
Maybe I'm similar. I saw Shedeur in that setting, and I was like, that was... I don't know what the word is exactly. I watched him do that, and I was like, that makes me like him a little more. He seems...
I like that he reads his press clippings. I was like, okay.
I just like that he can be playful with somebody, and it wasn't like, what are you going to say now? It wasn't that. It was like, come on, say something nice about me. It was playful. He knew who he was. He addressed him by name. The gentleman seemed to have fun with it. Like, he said something back that I couldn't quite make out, but it made Shedeur laugh, and it just felt like a playful little interaction between them.
Yep.
I thought that was nice. So all of it's compelling. All of it's compelling, and he looked the part. You know, like Michael Eaves said, it was a preseason game. Who knows? But, you know, people have sucked in preseason games before. Rookies have sucked.
Very true.
Rookie quarterbacks have sucked, embarrassed themselves, look really bad, look like they don't belong. And none of that was true with him. He looked like he belonged. He made some throws. And, yeah, you already saw, like, there are people in the stadium with the jersey on. Like, he's a very, very popular young professional athlete in this country. Like, one of the most popular. And watching his professional career unfold is going to be interesting. I don't know where it goes, but I know people are going to spend a lot of time writing about it and talking about it, whichever way it goes. We come back, turn our attention, big UFC news this morning. UFC is moving to Paramount Plus in 2026. And the most interesting aspect of this, because where you watch UFC is just where you watch UFC. For most UFC fans, like, say it's on this channel, I'll watch it on this channel.
Mm-hmm.
Say it's on this channel, I'll watch it on this channel. What do I care? Here's why you care. Pay-per-view's gone.
How about that?
All these UFC pay-per-views that have been costing what? You tell me.
$80 a pop at least, yeah.
Now you get them every month for free as long as you're a Paramount Plus subscriber. So that's good news. I'm already a Paramount Plus subscriber.
I am as well.
So we locked in. I'm going to be watching Landman Season 2 and South Park Season 27 and UFC pay-per-views before you know it. Let's go. We'll talk about, give you more details next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Speaking of Adidas, are these the Harden 10s?
Yes.
Yes.
I guess so. From what
you guys don't sound too excited. It kind of looks like when you flush the toilet in the water.
Yeah, it's like a whirlpool.
Want to be phone positive?
Yeah. Want to be phone positive? Or artists just making some paint up and they just
looks like phone positive material.
Or a thumbprint. The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
The NBA announced their Dunk of the Year yesterday. It was voted on by the fans, and it went to Ja Morant for his double clutch through Porzingis and Derek White. The call of it was excellent. That game we hung on to for a long time last season, but it was a spectacular dunk.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What is the biggest Summer League accomplishment so far for this Grizzlies team?
Tuomas Isalo filling out his coaching staff. The Ryan Saunders hiring was essential. It was big time. You have a veteran NBA voice there.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Preseason Box to Row Coaches Poll has come out. Jackson State sits there at number 1. This is the 3rd time in the poll's history that Jackson State has been the preseason number 1 team in the nation. And then Tennessee State being at 5, that really surprised me.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled. And Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays in the evenings and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org. To find your nearest urgent care location, just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
UFC is coming to Paramount Plus. It's a big media deal.
It's a massive media deal.
It's a massive media deal, estimated to be worth about $1.1 billion per year over 7 years. So I'll let you do the math on that. The big news is that the UFC pay-per-views that some of you have been buying roughly once a month at about $80 a pop, those are over. If you're a Paramount Plus subscriber, starting in 2026, you will be able to get what has been historically known as a pay-per-view, UFC 142, UFC 178, whatever they do. Those, if you're a subscriber to Paramount Plus, you'll get them.
So I'm a big UFC fan. I really enjoy it. I order maybe 3 pay-per-views a year because they're so expensive.
Right.
I mean, they're $80 a pop. I think this is really smart business by Dana White and by UFC. I think he's probably admitting a little bit that he lost the illegal streams battle. That's something he's been a huge proponent against, is cracking down on the illegal streams because people watched. I would say UFC is way up there as far as sports that people stream illegally because those pay-per-views are just so expensive and there's like one a month, right? So I think it's probably admitting that a little bit. And also just seeing what I know they're both under the TKO umbrella, but just seeing what WWE is doing and what just happened last week with them and ESPN, I think it's, we can grow our fan base tremendously. Right now we're kind of this, I wouldn't say niche thing. I mean, UFC is pretty big, but you can become way more mainstream doing this than you currently are.
100%. And it is actually crazy to me that it has taken this long for people who work in these sports, combat sports, to understand this. I won't bore you with a history lesson, but it started 70s, early 80s, pay-per-view became a thing for really boxing most notably, but it was also in wrestling. Like if you were a boxing fan and you wanted to watch the biggest boxing matches, you had to buy them pay-per-view. And if you were a wrestling fan and you wanted to watch the biggest wrestling events, you in many cases had to buy them pay-per-view. So maybe $20, $30, $40, $50. But over the years, decades, they've now gone up to, if you want to get a big time boxing match on pay-per-view, it's going to cost you about $100. UFC going to run you by the time you fees and taxes and all that, it's going to run you about $100.
Yep.
And the reason it was done that way is because it was a way for independent contractors to make the most money. In other words, Floyd Mayweather probably benefited from this financially, this model, more than anybody else. Like Floyd recognized very early on, I can become Money Mayweather, be what amounts to a heel in wrestling, and pay for all the upfront cost, cover everything. And then say, and if you want to watch it, it'll cost you $80. You got to pay it. And my promotion company is going to run this, and we'll just bank on 1.4 million people buying this at $100 each. And that's how I'm going to make. For years, Floyd Mayweather either was the highest earning athlete in the world or in America or one of them. And he would fight once a year, maybe twice. And it was because of the business model that he had really perfected and the pay-per-view aspect of it specifically. So in boxing, you had promoters most interested in making the most money for themselves and their fighter with no real regard for the future of the sport. You're just trying to make as much money as you can. And this was a great way for a handful of people to make a lot of money. But it destroys the sport. Boxing is Nothing compared to what it used to be. And the reason is because, and it's starting to change, I'll get to that in a minute, but the reason is because if you wanted to watch Floyd Mayweather fight for the last decade of his career, maybe even like 15 to 20 years, you had to pay a lot of money to watch him fight. Well, why do you want to pay a lot of money to watch somebody fight that you're mostly unfamiliar with, that you've never seen fight before? How do you bring new people to that? Floyd did it better than anybody, but he's still like, it's hard to do. And then once somebody of his stature exits the game, who is the casual sports fan who's just going to throw $80 down on a fight when there's 50 million different weight classes, 50 million different champions? You don't know who's who. So you stop watching. You stop watching. You don't even know who these people are anymore. So like Terrence Crawford is a big deal. If he walked down Bill Street, how many people would recognize him? Maybe none.
No, it's a good point. I think too, like, what we've learned in sports is the only thing people are going to pay a premium for is NFL. That package. Like if you want to watch if you're a fan of, the Steelers and you live in Memphis, you might buy the NFL package, and that's very expensive. It's the only sport I think anyone's paying a premium for anymore.
But guess how the NFL became this big? By being on your TV every Sunday.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Like just being available every Thursday night, every Sunday from morning till the end of the night, every Monday night. It's on your TV. You don't have to buy it. It's just there. If you own a television in America, football is going to be on your TV a lot during football season.
That's true.
Boxing's just the stars. They were just never on your TV. First off, they only fight once or twice a year, and they're never on your TV. You have to pay to watch it. It kills the sport.
Yes.
It's starting to change. I think people recognized how the numbers that Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight did.
Yes.
And so guess what's happening next month? Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Crawford, probably the fight of the year. You know where you're going to watch it? Netflix. Everybody has Netflix. Everybody will turn that on. Like, you really might go from something like, you take Terrence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, put it on pay-per-view, you might get 2 million people watch it. You'll get 50 million people to watch this.
Yes.
Because it's just on Netflix, and it'll feel like it's the biggest thing happening that night.
Yep.
And everybody's got and now you're going to see this with UFC. I am somebody who loves live events, live anything. I love watching live television, award shows, but also big boxing matches. If it's anything that feels big and it's live on television, I want to watch that, or at least it gives me something to do. UFC has sort of fallen into the habit of boxing where they take their biggest stars and they're only available on pay-per-view twice a year, maybe. Well, I'm a great example of this. I'm somebody who, if it was on in front of me, I would watch it. But I feel a little goofy spending $80 to watch a bunch of people fight that I don't know who they are. I don't follow the sport. There are times, all the time, it's a Saturday night. I see people tweeting about it. Oh, the main event's coming up. And I'm like, I work hard. I'm lucky enough with multiple jobs to have a little bit of a disposable income. I could buy this right now and it wouldn't set me back. But I don't even know who these people are. Yeah. And I just kind of feel stupid. I feel like I'm just flushing money down the toilet. I feel a little there's a moment where I feel a little silly. I have bought them before, but it's like, I feel like I just flushed $80 down for it. Why am I doing this?
No, for me, it's got to be a really good card.
Right.
Yeah.
So for more often than not, I just don't buy it out of principle. I would watch this, but I'm not going to because it feels a little stupid to just give these people $80 and I don't even know who they are. So I don't buy it. But now I'll watch all of these. And guess what will happen? I'll be familiar with these people. Guess what will happen? We'll come in on Monday. We'll be talking about these people.
Yeah, and I think too, I've said this to you, over the past couple times that we talked about UFC. I think right now they're in kind of a weird spot with their stars. They don't have a lot of stars.
I don't even know who they are.
They don't have a lot of the
if you ask me right now to name the biggest star in UFC, there's that Irish guy I kind of know of.
Yeah, so a lot of the big names that aren't holding the belt right now. Okay?
I don't know anybody.
And so I think that that's something that can change. They're going to be able to expose their best fighters that people may not be that familiar with way better. I was talking to someone that's connected to the business, and he was saying like they're gonna push out weekly content, like probably like WWE does with Raw and SmackDown, stuff like that. Like they will have new stuff every single week for you with this new deal
100%.
on Paramount Plus.
And now when I see everybody, because the people who watch it love it, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So now when I see everybody saying, oh, I'm watching this is awesome, this fight's coming up next, I can't wait for this is awesome, I can just go, I got Paramount Plus, boom, I'll turn this on, and now I'm there. And now this awesome thing that you guys love, I'm now exposed to it in a way that I otherwise just wouldn't be. And now I'm going, oh, wow, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, so when does this guy fight again? Oh, so who's on the next card? And now I'm in. Some of these are going to end up on CBS too.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Like the big UFC things that have been pay-per-views, on Saturday night, you will not have to pay $80 to watch that anymore. In some cases, that will be on CBS.
Mm-hmm.
You just turn on News Channel 3, and there it is. So this is going to be incredible for UFC in terms of just bringing people to the sport who otherwise don't have access to it, or at least don't feel compelled to spend real money to have access to it 12 times a year in a pay-per-view model. But if we already got Paramount Plus because we're watching Landman or South Park or whatever, then, hey, this is on. It's a big deal. People seem excited about it. Let's turn that on.
Yep.
I will watch more UFC in 2026 than I have watched in every year of UFC that has existed combined. I'm about to be a UFC fan.
We are so back, fam. Let's go.
Well, think about this. Would I be as big of a wrestling fan as I am now if WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble, if all those things were, as they traditionally were, pay-per-views, would I be as big of a wrestling fan now? Probably not, because I'd be like, well, I'm not spending $80 to watch.
I don't care enough.
I don't care enough. But it's like, well, with wrestling now, when I was a kid, like we would, like, hey, you think your dad would order the pay-per-view tonight? Like,
those were the times.
Hey, if I can get my dad to throw in $20,
beg my mom.
Yeah, like you think.
Beg.
And now everything that happens in WWE is accessible.
Mm-hmm.
You might need Netflix, but most of us already have Netflix, right? You might need cable because of USA Network, but most of us have cable. I shouldn't say most of us. I don't, but like a lot of people have cable.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have Netflix. And I know not as many people have Paramount Plus, but rather than spend $80 a month on pay-per-views, you can now spend whatever Paramount Plus costs a month, which is, what is it, $10, $12? I don't know.
Yeah,
But it's not nothing, but it's way cheaper than $80 a month. You pay that and you get access to all things UFC. So it's going to be great. It's going to be terrific. Big, and like we don't have to tell secrets. We're not telling secrets. I work for Paramount. Like, that's my employer. And so this is, I hope, great for us. The more big sports, the better. Like, Paramount got in the soccer business, like Champions League and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And, buddy, like, outsiders think of CBS Sports as like, oh, yeah, that's college basketball and golf. Used to be, the SEC. Now it's the Big Ten. You know what CBS people think of when they think of CBS Sports? Soccer. Soccer is like the big thing we got now.
Yeah.
I mean, buddy,
I watched quite a bit this year. Yeah.
We have an entire streaming network, the Golazo network.
Yeah.
Like, it's the soccer people are the stars. And this is like another, hopefully, one of those types of properties that can just expand CBS Sports and expand Paramount Plus as well. So this is like, you sent it to me, this story. But, buddy, this was going to be number one in 5 more things, whether you sent it or not. This is a huge deal. Great for UFC. I think great for Paramount Plus, and selfishly great for me, because now I'm going to have access to these UFC things in a way that I otherwise wasn't interested in doing. And like, we will come in here on Mondays after what used to be pay-per-views.
Oh, it'll be fun, man.
Oh, we're going to have a blast,
We're going to have a great time.
Oh, Bennett, we're going to have a good time with this.
Number 2.
John Gruden.
What's going on with him?
Oh, man, what's not going on with him? Former NFL coach, as you know, Super Bowl champion. He went to speak at the University of Georgia, to Georgia's football program over the weekend, and among other things said he would, quote, die to coach in the SEC.
Okay.
There was a time where SEC schools were willing to die to get John Gruden.
Tennessee thing.
Oh, man, they used to fall in love.
We used to talk about that a lot.
They used to follow in love with John Gruden. Tennessee fans, like every time they had a coaching vacancy, right?
Yep.
And his wife or somebody to be looking for houses in Knoxville. And, man, those stories, they were never late. But to date, he's never coached in the SEC. Hasn't coached on a college campus since the 90s. But after being, I would assume, blacklisted from the NFL because of that old email scandal, he now has made it publicly known at the age of 61 he would like to coach football in the SEC.
Okay.
Would an SEC school hire John Gruden, should they?
So this is the first time in I think quite a while that the SEC is returning every head coach from the previous season. No one got fired last year.
That's because it cost $100 million to fire this guy.
Coach. Yeah. Right.
Congratulations, Jimmy Sexton. You've created a market where you get these schools to agree to sign like a 10-year contracts worth $100 million, and then they got to fire these coaches because they can't all win, and then it costs like $100 million to get rid of these guys. So might as well just keep that. In all seriousness, part of that, every situation's different, but broadly speaking, what you just described is a byproduct of these types of conversations. And it's not $100 million every time, but like we could fire our coach, but we owe him $45 million in a buyout. We owe his assistants combined, if we fire all them too, it's going to be another $5 million in buyouts.
Yep.
So now we're on the hook for $50 million. What if instead of spending $50 million to get rid of the coach who we thought was good just 3 years ago, what if we just spent that on players and gave that coach $50 million worth of players or some version of that and see if we can get back on track that way? Let's try that. Before we fire the coach, let's use the money that we would use to fire the coach to try to set him up to win. And then we might just have to fire him anyway. But let's give him, rather than pay all this money to make him go away, let's pay all this money to see if we can help him stay. You know where this happened? Florida State. Rather than fire Mike Norvell after a disappointing season, why not take the money, just a fraction of the money we were going to give him to go away, and invest it in the roster?
Yeah.
And see if the guy who was literally the reigning national coach of the year before it went bad, see if he's not an idiot, if he just like one season got away from him, and now let's set him up to succeed. Same thing happened at Arizona State in basketball with Bobby Hurley, North Carolina with Hubert Davis. We can fire our coach, but it will cost a lot of money to do it. What if we take the money, invest in the program, and see if that'll help the coach be better? That's among the reasons there was no SEC turnover this year.
Yeah. So, like, would Georgia hire him? Would Alabama hire him? Would Texas hire him? I don't think so. But would Mississippi State hire him? I mean, like a program like that that's just right now a bottom feeder in the SEC, and how do you even try to get close to that level of those schools I just listed? Do you go hire a guy that's a brilliant football mind? I mean, maybe.
My instincts tell
and
me
it has some cachet.
My instincts tell me that an SEC school would not hire him, but Mississippi State seems like the perfect place you could if you wanted to.
You have to get creative.
You do have to be creative to ever be competitive.
Yep.
And Gruden is obviously problematic, but how problematic is he in Starkville, Mississippi? For people who don't know.
Or even in 2025. Right?
That's the other thing.
Yeah, you're right.
In 2021, for people who don't know, these emails came out. There was an NFL investigation into the Commanders, and there was a bunch of emails between John Gruden and various people, a lot of them Bruce Allen, I believe. And he was just using language and saying things that
you can't say. Yeah.
It was racist stuff and misogynistic stuff and sexist stuff, and there were gay slurs in there. And when those became publicly known via the New York Times, he resigned. He was forced to resign pretty quickly. Tampa Bay removed him from the Ring of Honor at their stadium. But you know what they did last year? Put him back in.
Yeah.
We talked about this. The world's changed. The country has changed. And it's not crazy to me that John Gruden could be the next sports example of this. Where we've seen it happen in other places. A few years ago, ESPN quite literally fired the Barstool people after one show because they
came to the decision, right or wrong, we can't be in business with these people. All right? Can't be in business with these types of people. Now, Fox Sports just hired them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to put them on a bigger stage.
College football coverage, yeah.
They're going to be their game day, basically.
Yeah.
All right? Shane Gillis gets fired from Saturday Night Live. You can't say things like that and then work here. Country changes. Now he's hosting Saturday Night Live, hosting the ESPYs, right? When John Gruden resigned after those emails were disclosed, it was crystal clear to everybody in the country at that time, at least most people, yeah, you got to resign, can't. But I wonder if the country has swung back the other direction enough to where you could hire John Gruden and say, yeah, he says some things that I wish he wouldn't have said, perhaps hold some opinions that I'd prefer him not to hold. But, you know, so does the President of the United States. So does the Secretary of Defense. So does, you name it.
Yeah, I mean,
the guy who runs WWE. So does Bryson DeChambeau. Like all the people you saw standing behind the president last week at that sports summit thing.
Yep.
Like we just live in a world where people are more comfortable today with people and the baggage connected to those people than they were just 4 years ago. That's just true.
Mm.
And I'm not even saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying it's true.
Yeah.
And if we live in a world where in a 5-year span, Shane Gillis can go from you can't work at SNL to, oh, you know what? On second thought, you can host SNL. In 5 years, we've gone from a world where you can't have the Barstool guys representing your major network to we want the Barstool guys representing our major network. How different is John Gruden getting another shot coaching? How different is it than those things? Maybe not very.
Right.
Maybe not very. Oh, like, I mean, I can take it all the way to the top. There was a time where, even with our current president, people thought, well, he's gone, it's too far gone.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was the Capitol or whatever else, it was like, well, you can't elect that. No, he can never be elected again. He just went too far. He'll never be elected again. He's unelectable going forward.
Mm.
We learned that's not true, right? But there was a moment in time, don't ever let anybody tell you this is wrong. There was a moment in time where, and it's not the first time he was elected, before the second time, people said, no, he can't. He'll run again, but he can't win a general election. Like smart people said that about Donald Trump. He cannot win a general election again, not in this country. Not after January 6th, not after all. And then, he's the president of the United States right now. I don't know if you've been paying attention. So, like, we've gone from, on the biggest of stages, Donald Trump can never be elected again in this country, to, yes, he can. He's running the country. We've gone from, on a lesser scale, the Barstool guys can't represent your network, to, yes, they can. Shane Gillis can't work at SNL. Yes, he can. He can host it. And the ESPYs on ABC. Like, if we've gone from there with all those things to where we are with all those things, how different is John Gruden? Probably not very much.
No, not very much at all. I don't think that I think if he was to get hired by an SEC school or college football in general, I don't think that there would be.
Oh, there would be. It would
I'm
be
not
very
so sure.
It'd be very controversial. It might go away quickly, but it would
go away quickly.
I mean,
he might get a question or two.
But, no, it'll be more than that.
But
It'd be very controversial. I mean, there's some stuff in the email that is undeniably racist and undeniably gay slurs. I mean, I had sort of forgotten the specifics. I went back and read it this morning, and it's like, ugh. I don't even know how you're comfortable putting that in an email, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, it's not great. He would have to answer for that, and his employer would have to answer for it. And there would be protest, and it might all go away pretty quickly, but it would be the biggest story in sports that day that it happened, and it would not be a popular thing.
Yeah.
The people who talk on TV about it would have a field day with it.
If I was going to guess, I would say he's probably, because he's been out of it for a minute now, and I think he would probably be. If he could get one of those jobs, he would have it now. I think I bet you'd see him at like an AAC school before you would see him in an SEC school.
For what it's worth, and then we'll move on. CBS Sports, our college football team, did just sort of within the past year, as Tampa Bay was putting Gruden back in the Ring of Honor and sort of undoing some of the things that had been done. like these emails come out and everybody's like, you're fired and you're out of the Ring of Honor and you go hide. And then it was like, let's fix some of this stuff. Let's undo some of this. CBS Sports, the college football team, did reach out to various like athletic directors and agents, industry people, and ask, like, do you think Gruden could ever coach college football after what happened? And the prevailing thought at the time, and this was, last fall, so a year ago, and the world's changed a lot in the past year. Last fall, they said probably not at the Power 4 level, but perhaps somewhere.
Yeah. Go win at Charlotte, and then we'll see what happens.
Something like that. But, I wouldn't rule out anything. He's only 61 years old. He's obviously works for Barstool now, so he's got a following in that segment of the world, which is a significant segment of the sports media world. So I wouldn't rule it out. It's not hard for me. On the day he resigned as an NFL head coach, I would have assumed he's done. We'll never hear from him again. And given how much the country has changed over the past few years, I'm not certain that's true anymore. I could see him coaching college football. In fact, if I had to bet, I'd bet he probably does at some point.
Number 3.
David Justice. Speaking of people from the 90s who decided to make headlines this weekend.
I remember him, yes.
David Justice, former Atlanta Braves star.
Yep.
Went on Matt Barnes' podcast. And among other things, decided to discuss his marriage with Halle Berry. He was married to Halle Berry for a few years back in the 90s. He was the great-looking baseball player, and she was the beautiful actress. And among other things, he said one of the reasons he decided to divorce Halle Berry, that he didn't think their relationship would last, is that he didn't think she had motherly instincts because she did not cook, she did not clean, and he did not think she would be a proper mother for his future children.
Okay.
Here's the exact quote. I'm looking at my mom. I'm a Midwest guy. So in my mind, I'm thinking a wife at that time should cook, clean, and I'm thinking, okay, if we have kids, is this the woman I want to have kids with and build a family with? And at that time, as a young guy, she don't cook, don't clean, don't really seem like motherly, end quote. What do you think of that?
Okay, well, she's also Halle Berry, brother. Like,
Halle Berry.
Come on, dude.
She's Halle Berry.
I mean, I think
if I'd have been, I would have liked to have been David Justice's friend back in the 90s. For a lot of different reasons. But if I were, like, among the first things I'd have said to him, if he ever said this to me, I'd have said, you play Major League Baseball, and your wife is Halle Berry. She's making like $20 million a film. She's, on her way to winning an Oscar. She's like the biggest star in Hollywood. All right? Hear me out. Let's hire a cleaner.
Let's get a nanny.
Let's hire a cook. Let's hire a cleaner and let's hire a cook. And let's just... I think if I was married to Halle Berry, the last thing I'd want her to do is cook and clean.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's...
I just want her to hang out with me and watch movies and stuff.
I know people have like traditional values and things like that. I grew up in the South. Like I understand people feel a certain way about certain things.
Do you want your wife to cook and clean?
I cook. I'm pretty much the cook of our house.
Okay, Bennett.
Yeah, I cook. She cleans. She cleans. I'm not a clean guy.
Okay, here's where I'm at.
I cook. She cleans.
That's fair.
I think we have a good balance.
That seems balanced.
Yeah.
Here's where I'm at on this. I do want my house to be cleaned, and I do want food to be cooked. I don't care how it happens.
I think I agree with that.
I don't care how my house gets cleaned as long as it's clean. If my wife wants to do it, that's wonderful. If not, a house cleaner is great. If not, me. A house cleaner could be a man or a woman. I don't care. Is everything swept and the clothes put up? As long as the house is clean, I couldn't care less how it happens. So I don't understand getting caught up on she doesn't clean. Why do you need Halle Berry to clean?
Sounds to me like someone might be coping a little bit from fumbling back in the day.
He fumbled.
I think he might have fumbled back in the day.
Why do you need Halle Berry to clean?
Imagine
how disappointed you'd be if you said, hey, Halle Berry, UFC's on.
She's a millionaire, dude. Why she got to walk around cleaning your house all day?
I just want her walking around all day.
Yeah, that's right.
The last thing I want her to do is clean. Like, imagine you ask Halle Berry to do something and she says to you, I can't because I have to clean. I'd be like, what? I would hire a house cleaner immediately.
He's off here.
Hey, Halle Berry, UFC's on Paramount Plus
I think
tonight.
he's coping.
Hey, Halle Berry, you want to watch UFC on Paramount Plus tonight? No, I have to clean. That would immediately hire a cleaner. I'd say, no, I don't want you cleaning. I want you sitting right here next to me watching UFC on Paramount Plus. The idea that you have a Halle Berry and want her to clean is crazy to me.
Yeah.
I don't want Halle Berry to clean. I want Halle Berry to watch TV with me.
And he said he didn't think she had motherly instincts. So what's she gonna do? Like have your kids and then like not ever talk to them?
Yeah,
I think that's just you learn to be a mom when you have the kids, dude.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, like I guess there are some women who have motherly instincts, just like there are some men who have fatherly instincts. I guess I don't know, but my experience is very much what you just described. If you ever hear somebody talking about, we haven't had a child yet, we're just waiting until we're ready. Let me just tell you, you ain't never ready.
No.
There are better times than others.
Sure.
But you ain't never ready, all right? You just, you look up one day, this is really how it happens.
Yeah, it happens and then you figure it out.
You look up one day and you're like, holy shit, there's a baby that lives with us now.
Right.
And
what do I do?
And it needs stuff. And what in the world?
Yeah.
How do we get ourselves into this one, right? You just figure that out, or you don't. But the idea that I wouldn't want a Halle Berry because she didn't have motherly instincts as a non-mother at the time, that don't make much sense to me.
Yeah, sounds like some copium to me.
Beyond that nonsense, why is he talking about his ex-wife of 30 years ago?
Right.
Don't you think
they probably asked him?
They probably asked him.
What was it like?
They probably asked, so you're married to Halle Berry?
Yeah.
You know, sexiest woman alive, according to People and whatever and all that stuff, right? It's probably, that's how it came up. I'm certain, right? I bet you he didn't walk in there and they were like, David Justice, how you been? Welcome to the show. And he's like, let me tell you about Halle Berry. I bet that's not how it happened. I bet it was like, so you were married to Halle Berry. What was that like? So he didn't bring it up. But you know what you do in that point? You just go, yeah, she was great. What a lovely woman. I look back on those times fondly. You just say something nice and short.
Mm-hmm. Because now you're getting dragged.
Now you're getting dragged.
Yeah.
And he's mostly getting dragged because he's putting stereotypical labels on people. Like, I had a wife, but she didn't cook and clean. Therefore, she wasn't a proper wife. Like, bro, it's 2025. And even then, it was like 1994. Like, you know, it ain't 1950. Everybody ain't got to cook and clean. All right.
She's also more famous than you.
It's just
like
he's mostly
significantly,
but he's mostly getting dragged for the whole cooking and cleaning and my wife didn't cook and clean. Rah, 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 rah. You know, he's mostly getting dragged for that. I would also drag him for bro, why are you disparaging your ex-wife 30 years later or 3 days later? I guess maybe this is a personal thing for me, or just I don't know. You tell me if I'm in the minority here. I never, and I mean, I don't want to say never, but with few exceptions, let me put it this way. I rarely hear somebody talking negatively about their ex, and I'm impressed by that. I often find it off-putting because relationships are complicated. Sometimes there is a totally right side and a totally wrong side, but often there's a lot of gray area. And even if so-and-so did this terrible thing, well, tell me what happened in the 2 years leading up to that terrible thing that happened, and maybe we'll get a better vision for what was going on. I never hear people crapping on their exes and go anything other than,
yeah, I think I agree with that. Nobody wants to hear it anyway.
Nobody wants to hear it. Yeah. And it never comes across good to me.
I think I agree with that.
You've been sitting across from me for years. We talk every day. I know this is a sports show. We talk about sports, but we talk about whatever I want to talk about. We'll talk about music. We'll talk about movies. We'll talk about my life. We'll talk about your life. We'll talk about my kids. We talk about things I used to do. We talk about everything. In fact, I'm running out of stories. Every story, I don't really create stories anymore. I don't do much anymore. So every story I tell now, well, there was this one time, I probably told that story 7 times by now. I apologize. Have you ever heard me badmouth somebody I used to be in a relationship with?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I have.
I don't even know if you've ever heard me
I don't think
say
so.
a name.
I definitely have not.
I don't do it. I wouldn't. Not every relationship I've ever had has been great. All right. I didn't date nothing but perfect people. But I just don't even know what the point of, like, if I find it off-putting when other people, when these stories come up, I don't know why I would then turn around and do it. So if anybody ever asks me about anybody, I'm just like, and they never do, who cares? But I'm just like, oh yeah, I knew her. She was great. Yeah, good time. Yeah, I just keep it moving. I don't feel compelled to badmouth anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I notice this with Pete Davidson. Maybe I'm just trying to be a little bit more like Pete Davidson. Because every time he does an interview, so what about Ariana Grande? What about Kim Kardashian? What about whatever? He says something nice about every one of them. You know he doesn't really love every one of them or like every one of them. Some of them did him wrong, right? Publicly, it's always just like, oh, she's the best. Oh, she's the smartest. Oh, she's great. Oh, she's a wonderful mother. Oh, what a talented young woman. Oh, she's way smarter than I even realized. What a genius. It's just always nice stuff. I think comes across way better than crapping on somebody, because often your perspective is warped by the way some relationship ended. And when I saw David Justice crapping on Halle Berry, I was like, yeah, I get why people are getting him about the cooking and cleaning stuff. But I think no matter what he said, anything negative about somebody you dated 30 or were married to even 30 years ago, like, why are you even talking about this person? I wouldn't even be comfortable talking about somebody I hadn't seen in 30 years.
I don't think I would either.
David Justice out of line. That's where I'm at. You think David Justice was out of line?
Yes.
David Justice out of line.
Boo to you.
Keep Halle Berry's name out your mouth. I'm not saying she was perfect when you were married, but I'm telling you in 2025, we don't need to hear about it. It doesn't sound well coming from you.
Number 4.
All right. I don't know nothing about these NASCAR drivers and where even NASCAR is these days.
Okay.
But there's an Xfinity series.
Yep. I know about it. I'm familiar.
Is it wild to you how far NASCAR has fallen off? I used to be aware.
Has it fallen off? Yes. I don't know.
Television ratings, crowds, everything. It's like nothing where whatever the peak was, it ain't there anymore and hadn't been there for a while. I used to know what happened in NASCAR races, and now I don't even know when they race. Like, I have no idea, like, who even races anymore. Like, is Kevin Harvick still alive? I have no idea.
I mean, I think Denny Hamlin's still doing his thing.
I have no idea.
I think Denny Hamlin's still in the FedEx car. I think Denny Hamlin's still in the FedEx. Ricky Stenhouse from Olive Branch
is doing what?
I know he got a fight with somebody.
I have no idea what these people do anymore.
I think Ricky Stenhouse is actually doing pretty well, too.
It used to, hit me. I would just be aware of things that happened, and now I just know nothing about anything that goes on in NASCAR. Anyway, so there's a NASCAR Xfinity race this weekend.
Okay.
And there's this fella. His name's Connor Zilic. And he's apparently the Xfinity points leader. So he's very good at this level of car driving.
Yes. Jacob says he's the best there is.
This fella?
Yes.
Connor Zilic.
He's won 6 races this year.
Most recently this weekend. So I guess you win a race, you're supposed to climb out of your car and celebrate a little bit. We've seen it 1,000 times, right?
This is like a second. This isn't like the top NASCAR. Like, this ain't the Daytona 500.
Bennett, you don't have to tell me.
Okay.
It's the Xfinity series.
Making sure.
It's
okay.
It's the Xfinity. I know.
Still big in its own right. Yes.
It's like AAA racing.
Sure.
We're gonna call it the G League.
Okay.
Let's call it the G League.
That seems disrespectful, but okay.
If Connor Zilic were a basketball player, he'd be down at the Landers Center. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
Now, he'd be on his way to FedEx Forum.
Yes.
Because he's a 19-year-old phenom.
He's Gigi.
He's basically Gigi.
Yeah.
Basically Gigi. Okay. So this fella wins again this weekend. He's excited, as you would be, I think. And he goes to celebrate. And, man, it could not have gone worse. Kyra, if you got it, show the folks what Connor Zilic did. Look at him. All right,
yeah,
everybody.
That's what you do, dude.
I won.
Get out
Look
of
at
the
me.
car.
I'm going to win. Hey, congrats. Look at me. Woohoo.
Let's go.
Oh, no.
Let's go.
Boom.
Oh, did his leg get caught in the car?
Yes.
Oh, he's out.
Baby.
He's down and out.
Diagnosis. Watch him again. Hey there. Look at me. I won again. I'm the best in the world.
Get on top of that thing.
I'm the best in the world.
Yes, sir.
I'm coming for you, Dale Earnhardt. Ooh. He's down. Carl, let's watch it one more time. I'm having fun doing the commentary on it.
What's that car? Is that a Red Bull?
What? Hey, look at me. I won again. That's 6 victories for me. I'm coming for you, Denny Hamlin. I'll get you out of that FedEx car before you. Oh, no. Boom.
So what happened?
Broken collarbone.
Oh, damn.
Broke his collarbone.
Dang.
He broke his collarbone.
He's out. You can't drive with a broken collarbone.
I can't.
You got to have movement.
I mean, I could. I got a self-driving car. I could drive with a broken collarbone. No problem. I'd probably, if
he really was knocked out there, by the way, as well. Jacob just told me he was out cold.
Broke his collarbone.
Yes, broke his collarbone.
He's gonna have
concussion probably.
He's gonna have to get a Tesla. He's gonna have to get a Tesla for next week. What if he shows up at the next race and he's like, I have a broken collarbone, but I'm going to do self-driving Tesla?
That's the other thing.
He should race a self-driving Tesla.
That's the other thing too. You mentioned what's happened in NASCAR. I wonder could I win a NASCAR race?
You look like you could.
Well, yeah, I know that obviously, but I'm saying just give me a Tesla.
You look like you could win a NASCAR race or like a dart tournament.
Could I beat this dude in a race?
You look like you could win a dart tournament for sure.
I've thrown some darts. I've thrown some darts.
If people were to ask me questions about you based on nothing more than your appearance, I'd say he's thrown darts in his day. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You look
I'm not a good racer though. I don't know if I'd do good in a NASCAR race.
I'm not saying you would do well.
Yeah,
I'm saying you look like you would.
Good. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could win a NASCAR race because you just give me a self-driving Tesla and let me program it and I'm going to win.
Yes.
Right?
I think so.
I mean, don't I just say, hey, Tesla, can you talk to your Tesla? What do you do? Is there voice commands?
Yes, you can. I don't talk to my car, but you can do that.
But couldn't I just
I'm not comfortable enough
couldn't
to do
I
that.
just get in my little intercom and it's okay, they wave the checkered flag on your mark, get set, go, and then I just say, hey just Tesla, go literally as fast as you possibly can.
Go as fast as you can. You put it in hurry mode.
Yes.
Tesla, get into hurry mode.
And go.
And do this 500 times.
Yeah, do not stop.
Don't stop.
We'll make sure to charge it really good before the race starts.
Yeah.
So we're at 100% battery.
Supercharge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's problem solved. Doesn't matter if your collarbone is broken or not. When you said, can you talk to your Tesla? This thing popped into my head. Listen to what happened to me yesterday. This was spooky for me. I've told nobody this. I haven't even told my wife this.
Okay.
So we were playing golf yesterday morning. And I've got a watch on, right? And I got into a habit where I was acting like every shot, I was playing okay. So I was feeling myself a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And every shot I was talking like I was talking to Dottie on the CBS Sports golf telecast. So I'd be like, all right, Dottie, it looks like GP's got about 98 yards left. He's going to take his little gap wedge here. And he's going to try to throw it up. And I was just talking through every shot, annoying everybody I was playing with. I realize it sounds stupid. It's because it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I was doing this every shot.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking like I'm talking to Donnie. So at one point yesterday, one of my buddies, he's like trying to ask me a question. I said, hold up a second. Let me talk to Dottie. And my watch said, you want to call Dorothy? Calling Dorothy. And it called my wife's dead grandmother.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, what on earth is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And it made me I knew she wasn't going to answer, but would I get I just didn't want to. It felt really weird.
Yeah. That is strange. I would have felt strange.
My watch tried to call my wife's deceased grandmother. That happened yesterday. If you look at my phone log right now.
You play too much, dude.
If you look at my phone log right now, it says my last however many calls. My third most recent call was to a person who's no longer living.
Mm-hmm.
Should I delete that out of my phone? Just so it doesn't look weird?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
These Apple Watches, man, they'll do anything you tell them to. And sometimes they'll do stuff you don't even tell them to, like that.
Yeah.
We got to get this fella a self-driving car. That's what we're trying to do.
If he wants to race on the Xfinity Series again in the near future, he's probably going to have to.
And you got to be a little careful getting out of your car. That goes without saying.
That sucks, man.
That does suck. And you just feel stupid. He's done that a million times.
I know.
He must feel just as stupid.
He's won 6 races this year. He's done it 6 other times.
Without incident. It must feel just as stupid as I did when I tore my hamstring walking up my stairs.
Yeah.
It's like, I do this all the time. And now I'm injured.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go to the doctor. Because, what? I tore my hamstring on my stairs. What? I broke my collarbone getting out of my car.
Brutal.
Tough world out there, man.
Yeah, brutal.
It's a tough world.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him.
Me too.
Number 5.
Bennett's back from vacation.
Yeah,
you
man.
went to Colorado. What'd you do in Colorado?
Had a wonderful weekend in the mountains of Colorado Springs. My first trip to Colorado was.
I've been to Colorado Springs.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
That's where the Air Force Academy is.
Yeah, we went with some friends, met up with some friends. We went to see King Gizzard was playing at the. Man, there's this new amphitheater in Colorado Springs called the Ford Amphitheater, and it is nice as hell.
Look at
it. You can even see, like in the video, there's like fire pits as it goes up the amphitheater. There's like seating that you can purchase tickets in, and you get your own personal fire pit.
I like a good fire pit.
It was a really cool venue.
Make a s'more.
Yeah, we met up. We met up with our friends, Chris and Michelle. Chris opened for him. He's DJing on this tour with them, and we got to
look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
That's the land right there.
Yeah, we stayed with my friends Steve and Erica. We stayed with her folks. So big shout out to Paul and Joan for hosting us. Look at this, man. It was glorious.
So
it was a glorious
just you
weekend.
And the wife? Kids go? Kids stay behind?
We left the kids at home.
Okay,
man.
Bennett.
We left the kids at home.
Okay, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at you out there in the grass and stuff.
Me and my beautiful wife.
Yes, yes.
Yep, up in the hills. It was cool. There was like a storm one night. We almost got attacked by a bear.
That would have been less than ideal.
So we were sitting outside. I mean, they live way up in the mountains. We're sitting.
What in the world?
So that's their camera. That's their backdoor camera. We were sitting literally 100 yards from there, like around the corner of the house. And that's in the backyard while we're just chilling.
Yeah, I'd have stayed inside, I think.
While we were just chilling on the porch swing.
That's
that was right around the corner.
Inside.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. But man, it was a blast. We had such a good time. Man, a huge shout out to Michelle. She's my friend Chris's girlfriend, and she's their manager and booking agent, and she, brought us backstage, and we got to
backstage Bennett.
We got
backstage
to,
Bennett.
We got to like yuck it up with the band and stuff. It was really cool. It was like a trip of a lifetime kind of thing. It was good.
Backstage Bennett in the beautiful mountains of Colorado. I'm glad you got to do that. I missed you while you were gone. CJ was great.
Good. Buttons went okay?
He was great.
He pressed all the buttons right.
I mean, for the most part. I mean, I wasn't keeping track. I ain't up here trying to keep track.
I love those people. Those are my people right there.
That's Bennett's people right there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good for you. I'm glad you did that. I just sort of had this moment this morning where I was like, you know what? When I go on trips, we come back and try to act like they were something. But, we don't do that for Bennett. We should do that for Bennett. We should celebrate Bennett's trip. I want to celebrate your trip.
It was cool, man. I get why people want to go live in places like that.
Because legalized weed?
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah,
that's way easier than you would think.
Yeah.
But not even that. Just like the scenes, the views, the weather. It's great. It was great.
Colorado's great. You ain't gonna get an argument out of me.
I would love to go back. We went to this little town called Manitou Springs. It's in the hills. It's kind of like it's like Colorado's version of Hot Springs or something like that. Yeah, and it was cool. It reminded me a little bit of like Twin Peaks or something. It was cool. It was cool.
Well, I'm glad you had a good trip.
It was a great
Everybody
trip,
needs stuff
man.
like that.
It was a great trip.
All right. Well, Big Bet Bennett, he's back now. We'll come back. We'll do GP's carryout.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Going through the draft process the first time, they give you the answers to the test. Like, this is what you need to work on. This is what you do well.
They told you.
Yeah, like they tell you.
Here's what, if you want to get drafted, here's what needs to happen.
Yeah, they tell you. So it's like, if you're not listening, it'll go right over your head. But for me, I made sure to soak up all information and everything possible so I can give myself the best shot.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Did you know the Grizzlies were going to try to get up and get you?
No, I have no clue. I thought the Grizzlies loved me when I worked out because it was like super fun and everything was, just natural. We were just having a conversation. It wasn't like said, what's your favorite color and, like all that stuff.
What's your favorite color?
It wasn't interview.
First date type vibe.
Yeah, it wasn't interview questions. It was just like, hey man, how you doing? Like, and it was just real easy to talk to him. It was real easy to talk to Coach Thomas.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Look at Mississippi State's schedule. They are not going to be favored in a single SEC game. They are only going to be favored. Their over-under win total is 3.5. They are only going to be favored in 3 games this year. That'll probably be Southern Miss, Alcorn State, and Northern Illinois.
It's at Southern Miss, man. I don't know.
And it's at Southern Miss.
They might not be favored in that.
Right.
One.
You don't know what Brett Favre's done to the athletic department.
They have an awesome arena now.
Right.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Preseason Box to Row Coaches Poll has come out. Jackson State sits there at number 1. This is the 3rd time in the poll's history that Jackson State has been the preseason number 1 team in the nation. And then Tennessee State being at 5, that really surprised me.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
You get to the main event, and you hear the crowd. There's some rumblings in the crowd.
Here we go.
They say, "We want truth."
I love how John Cena said when they were chanting, "We want truth." You can't handle the truth.
There you go.
I loved it.
He takes me off, boom. Takes the mask off, boom. And it's our freaking truth. God, man, he cost John Cena the match.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Show presented by Ortho South. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
Well, since we've been talking, the AP poll, college football, has been published. And just like the coaches poll, Texas is number 1.
Figured.
Longhorns got 25 first place votes, 2 more than second place Penn State. Yes, Penn State, the Nittany Lions, are number 2 in the AP poll, followed by number 3 Ohio State, number 4 Clemson, and number 5 Georgia. That means that big opening weekend game, Texas at Ohio State, will not technically be 1 versus 2 because we use the AP poll to document those types of matchups. And according to the AP poll just published, it'll be number 1 Texas against number 3 Ohio State. Still a massive game featuring Arch Manning under center, but it'll be 1 versus 3 instead of 1 versus 2. That is because Ohio State is not number 2. It is number 3. Memphis, if you're wondering, got 9 votes, 9 points in the AP poll.
All right, I'm going to say we're sitting comfortably at number 32.
39.
A little
39.
disrespectful.
39. You tied with James Madison, so technically tied for...
Okay, hey, we're in the mix then.
Tied for 38th. If you're looking for schools outside of the Power 4 that receive points in the AP poll, the best is Boise State at number 25, followed by Tulane, then UNLV, then Toledo, then James Madison and Memphis. And one of those schools, presumably, should be in position to grab the group of 5 auto bid.
I believe Boise and James Madison play each other, I think.
Just got to handle our business, Bennett.
Yeah.
Hey, let's not look too far ahead. Just got to handle our business. Memphis will start tied for 38th in the AP poll, and it's only upwards from there.
What's today's biggest game?
We're going to the WNBA.
Okay.
We got a 9 o'clock tip tonight inside the Chase Center out in San Francisco. It's the Connecticut Sun. They stink. 5-25. They're moving too. Against the
they're going to Boston, aren't they?
They're going to Boston.
Huh.
It's the Connecticut Sun against the Golden State Valkyries. 15-15 expansion club. The Valkyries are 7.5-point favorites. Total's 156.5. Bennett, how you going to act?
Man, I'm kind of wanting to take the Sun for some reason. They've lost 4 in a row. I don't know. It just feels. I'll take the Valkyries.
Bennett said he's laying.
Yeah.
He's not comfortable with 7.5 points.
It's a lot for an expansion team.
It's a lot for an expansion team.
The Suns suck.
The Suns suck.
Yeah.
The Suns suck.
Yeah, they're not good. Let's go Valkyries.
Just another way of saying suck. They're not good. Valkyries minus 7.5, 9 o'clock tip inside the Chase Center.
What are we watching on TV?
All right, I think we're watching Raw on Netflix. 7 o'clock. By the way, remember when you told me Big Bronson was just going to splash the OTC Roman Reigns a few times and then he was going to go make a movie?
Yeah. He's back tonight, isn't he?
I don't know if he's back tonight, but he is advertised for the big event in Paris coming up at the end of the month.
Oh.
The OTC schedule seems to be he's going to work this month in WWE. He'll be in Paris for that big event. Then he's going to go do a Street Fighter movie in September, and then he'll be back in October for the build-up to all the big events.
Wait, who's he going to be in Street Fighter? Hold up.
I believe he's going to be in Street Fighter. I think that's right.
Hold on now. because I loved Street Fighter as a child, and I loved the stupid Street Fighter movie that they made, but I loved the game even more. Let me see. Roman Reigns. On IMDb, he's not Roman Reigns.
He will play the role of, I don't know these people, so forgive me if I mispronounce it, Akuma? Akuma? A-K-U-M-A.
Yep.
Akuma. He was in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo video game in 1994.
Yeah, I'm familiar. I'm familiar.
He'll now be played by Roman Reigns, the OTC. So the OTC is back. Hey, you know what? I finally finished this weekend that WWE Unreal documentary, the 5-part documentary on Netflix.
Good. Everyone said it's good.
It's good.
Okay.
I don't think you even have to like wrestling to like be interested in it. But if you do watch the WWE, you'll love this.
Okay.
It's like a real look behind the scenes of who these people are, what matters to them, what doesn't, the politics of the profession, how it all goes down. It's just really a peek behind the curtain and fascinating stuff. I found it super compelling. Like there are some of these Netflix documentaries like this that I don't get into. Like I'm a golf fan. Full Swing, I don't care. I've watched some of it. I watched the whole first season and was like, whatever. Watched some of the second season. It just has never grabbed me and been like, this is super interesting. But the WWE stuff is really interesting. So I finished it. It's 5 parts. They're going to do it season 2 next year. But they basically just follow and from point A to point B. It's all the John Cena heel turn stuff. You eventually get to that. It's good. I would recommend it. That's on Netflix when you get bored. 5 parts. WWE Unreal. Tonight, Raw returns to Netflix, 7 o'clock. I guess you get the Women's World Championship match, Io Sky against Naomi. CM Punk is opening the show after his brief title hold before Seth Rollins cashed in on him. So it's all tonight, 7 o'clock, Netflix. We'll turn it on.
What's the best thing we've read?
Well, over at CBSSports.com, Jeff Kerr's got overreactions from week 1 of the preseason, including a nice little nugget on Jackson Dart, who is playing for the Giants these days. So if you haven't read that yet, you can find it. It's on the homepage right now, CBSSports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's Tuesday, so we'll be one day closer to round 2 of NFL preseason games. I'm sure there's a Shadur Sanders conversation in there to have somewhere.
I got them all recorded. go home tonight and watch everything, and I will have everything. If you need
Hold
it,
up a second.
Yes, I recorded every preseason game. I dabbled a little bit while I was in the mountains of Colorado.
You will really, because I hear people say things like this sometimes, like, yeah, I recorded it and then I woke up the next morning and watched it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be very honest. I never do that unless it's something very specific that I know I'm going to talk about at length and I need to see everything connected to it. So I'll do that. But the idea that I'm just going and watching replays of anything is not true, especially not preseason exhibition stuff. But you do that.
Yes.
You're a weirdo.
Yep, I will be.
That makes you
Tonight.
a weirdo.
Yep.
That makes Bennett a weirdo. But what to each his own. All right, maybe I'll ask you some questions about it.
Sounds good.
If we got nothing else to do.
I like it.
Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to enjoy mine. Let's meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good, rep your hood.